veteran investor. Pashupati, good to see you after a very long time. Where have you
Likewise,
been
sir.
traveling? Watching cricket, traveling, or busy in markets?
Well, I wish I would say all of the above, but I'm not as much of a cricket fan as I ought to be living in India. But that's life in the fast lane. But certainly, cricket is definitely taking eyeballs. And I know for one fact, my internet slows down quite remarkably every evening while the matches are on. So that's a reality that we all have to deal with.
How's your portfolio shaping up? What have you been busy analyzing and adding in your portfolios?
No, so I am a little bit reluctant to add aggressively simply because we are not at highs, but I think that there is a lot of turmoil, and I find it very difficult to believe that even though people are slaughtering each other in Israel and Gaza and in Ukraine and Russia, that markets continue to trade up sort of quite sharp, quite interestingly. But I mean, there obviously seems to be money around, but I guess it is. I'm a little surprised at where things are going, and so I've actually not been so aggressive. A while ago, we had talked about the new wave stocks that had come. There are these four new issues that had come. One was Paytm, one was Zomato, one was Nykaa, and one was that insurance company, Policy Bazaar. So actually, my sort of list of order was Paytm, Zomato, Nykaa, and Policy Bazaar, and I think that list would have been good. I unfortunately bailed out of Paytm a little early, so I'm kind of watching it go up and missing it. Zomato is okay, and I think with the World Cup, definitely the numbers have been good, and the stickiness is also going to be there. So it's the way India is moving, and it's the way India is. It's new patterns that are coming up, and we actually have to predict those to make money.
That's your pecking order within the new age tech world as well, and timing the market is really difficult, so don't beat yourself too much as far as the Paytm trimming is concerned. But Pashupati, what about the entire equipment and construction theme? Because after that commentary that we saw from JCB, we have seen big moves on the likes of Sangvi Movers, Action Construction is doing well, BEML, and the entire space, given the fact that capex is likely to pick up. Would you want to play this theme through the likes of L&T or through the equipment manufacturers?
No, I think L&T is pretty favorably, pretty correctly priced. The interesting thing about L&T is I believe that they are giving up a lot of projects out of India simply because they're overwhelmed with the work that they have in India. It is definitely the government's position that they want to do a lot of projects and they want to do a lot of completion before the elections in next May. So they're going full steam ahead, and you have to actually ride that ghoda and make money. So the equipment manufacturers are definitely there. The cement is also seeing some life. Steel is seeing some life because these are all essential ingredients for any kind of construction. And that's a sector I have been looking at and I have nibbled at over the last 3-4 months, fortunately profitably. So, that is one thing that I'm happy about.
Part of your portfolio, have you been trimming your positions or have been eager to on every rise? I want to understand where do you see frauds building up?
No, I think, India is definitely a flavor of the month, year. Money is supposed to be coming, but actually FPIs are selling. But I'm seeing a lot, seems to be some interest in private investment. So the money is actually not going away. And a lot of IPOs have had anchor investors who are from overseas. So I think that that's, we are getting a little bit of selling simply because other countries look like they have better opportunities. But the reality is that I personally feel that it should be trimmed as we go higher. And, but the problem is every time I sell a stock, it goes up. So I'm actually crying at myself. So it's life in the fast lane. Maybe I'm ahead of my time.
Point taken, Pashupati, on that. But you know what? Let's just take a short breather and deviate and go across to Sharad to understand what the dealing room chatter is like today. Sharad?
Well, yes, we are speaking with the dealers and an interesting stock has popped up. That in the cash segment, we are having CAMs, and over here the dealers are stating that a couple of counters in the HNI segment have been acquiring this stock. Now the volumes also, if you look at it, it's coming at almost 4 times its 20-day average, and importantly a strong delivery based buying has been coming over the last 2 trading sessions. And do remember the Q2 numbers are expected to come on November the 8th, and it's expected the numbers would be on the higher basis, especially on the top line growth, and importantly overall the brokerages have also been bullish on these businesses, especially because of the new value-added business coming in, which actually gets more margins, and also importantly the mutual fund revenues that is expected to go up. But do mind that there is a yield pressure in the mutual fund industry, and still that lag effect is coming in this company as well. So the yield pressure is also likely to be maintained over the next two quarters.
Sure, Sharad, thanks so much for bringing us those details. But in the meantime, let's take stock of if any other big movers. JK Lakshmi Cement is something which is perking up, 12% higher on that one. Nuresh, what's your sense on the cement stocks and JK Lakshmi Cement specifically?
So, JK Lakshmi, not tracking it very closely, but the stock has gone through a sideways period for the last 4-5 months. If it can sustain above 720 levels, that would be a trend change for the stock. As of now, very sideways.
Yeah. So the other thing which I was taking note of is the QSR space. Yesterday, if you see, one of the pizza chains here in India actually called out for slower growth in the coming quarter. This comes on the back of even our own McDonald's, the Jubilant Food, the Westlife, which is the McDonald's franchisee listed one, saw muted growth this quarter. Valuations are not very cheap here. What do you see of the QSR space? Because there was a lot of promise getting built in because of cricket, festive season, eating out. Would you be cautious, or would you look at adding these names, Pashupati, so the QSR names?
What's happening in the QSR space is it's moving from people directly ordering from McDonald's to ordering through Zomato. And so some of the margin is shifting to those intermediaries that actually do the delivery. And I don't know whether they'll be able to, the actual McDonald's or Jubilant or whatever is going to be able to pull it back, because you can call a Zomato and get 10 things. You can only call a Jubilant and get pizza or pizza or pizza. I mean, so I think that's a sort of sea change that's also happening in behavioral patterns of Indian public, and it's being helped by the World Cup, where people are getting together in large groups and people want different kind of cuisines. So I think it's temporary, but I don't know whether these guys will be able to pull it back after the World Cup is over. Anish.